Thank you. Uh, Very good evening, sir. With the permission of Vice Chancellor, sir, can we start the meeting? Yeah. Thank you. Very warm good evening. Namaste, Avar, Abhinandan, and warm greeting from JNU to all the galaxy of intellectuals, invited esteemed guests, coordinators of the courses, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. विद्या की देवी मां शारदा को सर्वप्रथम नमन करते हुए आई एम संजीव शर्मा, Assistant Director, UGC HRDC JNU. On behalf of the HRDC JNU, it's a matter of immense pride to host this combined valedictory session for two HRDC programs. The first is refresher course in life sciences and biotechnology, and the second is short-term program in academic leadership and resource management. Before we start the valedictory session formally, and I invite my esteemed guest, I would like to briefly share with you that today we are going to complete 19th this program under different component like refresher course in subject, refresher course in interdisciplinary courses, short-term program, interaction program, and faculty induction program. Today, we are going to successfully completed these two programs in life sciences and biotechnology. 39 participants have successfully completed this course, and in short-term course that is on academic leadership and resource management, 20 participants have completed the course. On behalf of the UGC HRDC JNU, we are delighted to offer a gracious welcome to all of you. Today, we have with us our respected Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar sir. We have also with us Professor Avinash Chandra Pandey. He is the director at IUC New Delhi, and he is indeed a very good friend, a close friend of JNU. We have with us Dean, School of Biotechnology, Professor Pavan Kumar Dhar. He is also one of the coordinator in our program. We have with us Professor Girishnath Jha, is the coordinator for academic leadership and resource management course. We have with us Dr. Rita Sharma, who is also the coordinator for the professor course in life science and biotechnology. With this brief background, now I would like to invite Professor Pavan Kumar Dhar, the Dean, School of Biotechnology. He's the professor in School of Biotechnology, and his expertise in synthetic biology, application in health, energy, and environment. He's a professor here at JNU, but before joining JNU, he worked in different countries like Germany, Japan, Singapore, and in India, Kerala, Karnataka, Pune, and Noida also, and headed in different position in as a scientist and as the professor. Sir, I welcome you, and I humbly request you to formally welcome our esteemed guest and address the participant. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Respected dignitaries, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar, Vice Chancellor JNU, Professor Avinash Chandra Pandey, Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma, Assistant Director, UGC HRDC, dear coordinators, Professor Girishnath Jha and Dr. Rita Sharma, and dear participants of both the programs, I very warmly welcome you to this valedictory session. On this momentous occasion of valedictory session of the 25th refresher course in life science and biotechnology, and the second short-term course in academic leadership and resource management, which has been a new offering from UGC HRDC of late. I am delighted and honored to extend our heartiest welcome on behalf of Professor Brijesh Pandey, who had to rush for some exigencies, and I'm feeling in his role at this moment. ये जो रिफ्रेशर कोर्स बायोटेक्नोलॉजी का था, लाइफ साइंस एंड बायोटेक्नोलॉजी का, ये 2 सप्ताह तक चला था, और एकेडमिक लीडरशिप प्रोग्राम हमारा एक सप्ताह तक चला। आज 9 जनवरी को ये जो एक आध्यात्मिक सत्संग और विचारों की जो एक श्रृंखला थी, एक समझ लीजिए कि एक यज्ञ था, उसकी आज पूर्ण आहुति है। और मैं आप सबका आभार करता हूँ। आपका धन्यवाद कि आप सब यहाँ आए और आपने इस बहुत ही स्पेशल मोमेंट की शोभा बढ़ाई। My heartiest thanks and warm welcome to our dignitaries once again. And I request Dr. Sanjeev Sharma to take this forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. So once again, I, on behalf of HRDC, my director, Professor Brajesh Kumar Pandey, welcome you all. And in the continuation of in this session, now I would like to invite Dr. Rita Sharma, who is the coordinator for the special course in life science and biotechnology. Madam, kindly present a brief report about your the course for the last 2 weeks. Over to you, Dr. Sharma.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. So our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Kumar, esteemed Chief Guest, Professor Pandey, Assistant Director, HRDC, Dr. Sanjeev, respected colleagues and dear friends, a very good afternoon to you all. At the culmination of the 25th refresher course in life science and biotechnology that I had an opportunity to coordinate with an eminent scientist, an extremely motivating and assiduous senior colleague of mine, Professor Dhar, it's highly gratifying for me to present a gist of the proceedings. But before I come to statistics, I would like to express my deep gratitude to HRDC JNU for this opportunity. It's been a wonderful learning experience for me as well at both personal and professional front. The program was attended by 39 participants coming from 28 different universities or colleges with diverse backgrounds ranging from biotechnology, pharmaceutical chemistry, veterinary sciences, zoology, botany, biochemistry, just to name a few. And during this 2-week journey, we had the pleasure of listening to 31 resource persons, all of them coming from the diverse fields. These talks were like bouquet of flowers, with each of them having a unique color, pattern, and fragrance, which I'm sure is going to stay with our participants in a good stead for a long time. We not only covered the state-of-art technologies such as next-generation sequencing platforms, genome editing, synthetic biology, but also covered computational approaches and relevance of machine learning and artificial intelligence in discerning biological insights from omics-driven biological data. These talks were highly applauded by our participants who frequently came forward to interact with the experts and seek guidance to incorporate these tools in their own research area and diversify their research portfolio. Well, the current pandemic has not only accelerated our ability to adopt hybrid learning modes through virtual platforms, but also helped us to overcome geographical barriers and other constraints. Since many of our participants involve young mothers from far-flung areas of the country who probably could not make it for this course had it required a physical presence on campus for 2 weeks. So we are glad that they could take advantage of this online initiative of JNU from the comfort of their homes. The understanding that I had about this program before I got involved as a coordinator with Professor Dhar was that UGC has taken this momentous responsibility to educate the educators of the country so that the participants can stay abreast with their advancements in their fields and expand their frontiers of knowledge in respective domains, which hopefully would be translated ultimately to their students. But after interacting with these participants and listening to their presentations, which was part of their evaluation exercise for last 2 days for the purpose of the grading, I was so amazed to see that we have such an excellent pool of researchers in our country working at the grassroots level with very limited infrastructure. We tried our best during the course that to connect them with some of the resource persons whose guidance can make an immense difference and level the play field for all of us and eventually lead to democratization of resources and infrastructure in the country. With those words, I extend my thanks once again to administration for the opportunity, technical staff at HRDC, especially Neha and Gaurav for their exemplary technical assistance throughout the program, Professor Dhar for his continuous guidance and support, and most importantly, our participants for their active involvement and making this course a success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much for sharing the brief report about the course. And we also like to thank you for both the coordinator for accepting our invitation and coordinating the course successfully. Now, I would like to invite Professor Gripnath Jha, the professor in the School of Sanskrit and Indic Study, and the coordinator for the short-term course in academic leadership and resource management. Sir, kindly share the brief report for a 1-week short-term course. Over to you, Professor Jha. Professor Jha, are you there?
Sir, you are muted.
Unmute. Professor Jha, you need to unmute yourself, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev ji. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Honorable Vice Chancellor, who is the main inspiration behind all these innovative courses. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Avinash Pandey ji, Director IUAC. Professor Brajesh Pandey, Director HRDC, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma, Assistant Director HRDC, Professor Dhar, and all the fellow coordinators of the course, and technical staff who has been very, very efficient at HRDC, and all my dear participants. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and we believe this course has delivered itself in the last 1 week, and the second short-term course, Academic Leadership and Resource Management, was from 4 to 9 January, and we had about 20 registered participants. Initially, we had 22. Now we have 20 registered participants who are able to actually complete the course. And the good thing about this course was that we had participants from all the way from Ladakh to Kerala, north to south, and from Orissa and West Bengal in the east to Maharashtra in the west. So wide diversity of participants from various disciplines, actually. And then in a short term, we were able to manage about 19 lectures, including 4 lectures from overseas, international lectures. And including, we just had a lecture by Director of European Language Resource Association, Dr. Khalid Chukri. And also we had a lecture earlier by the President of St. Martin's University in West Indies. And all of them, they talked about how to set up, universities, resources, etc., and guide our participants to become good leaders in academic field. We also had several talks by vice chancellors, pro-vice chancellors, some of them our own actually, and deans of schools, heads of departments, and professionals. And they all, spoke on various areas. And then we had, the sessions, interactive sessions with our participants, and we got some very good feedback this morning from our participants to include some other areas, like psychology, and also look at how the colleges in the country are able to do resource management. So all in all, it was a grand experience, and I would like to thank HRDC for giving me this opportunity. और मैं ये आशा करता हूँ कि आगे के दिनों में भी हम ऐसे कोर्सेज चलाएंगे और देश से हम पार्टिसिपेंट्स को आमंत्रित कर पाएंगे और बड़े बड़े विद्वान हमारे इस कोर्स में सहभागी हो पाएंगे. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सबका, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. थैंक यू सो मच.
धन्यवाद सर, आभार, अभिनंदन. Thank you very much for sharing the brief report about the course. Now I would like to go further, and I would heartily welcome our Vice Chancellor sir. Professor M. Jagdish Kumar sir is our Vice Chancellor and Professor at IIT Delhi in Electrical Engineer Department. He is also the Fellow of Indian National Academy of Science, Fellow National Academy of Science, and National Electronics and Telecommunication Engineer. And sir, you are always our strength and the motivation, because by your presence in our inaugural session also and the valedictory session. Now I would like to request you kindly address the participant. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Professor Avinash Chandra Pandey, my dear colleagues, Pawan Dhar, Rita Sharma, Professor Girish Nath Jha, and other resource persons, and all the participants. The coordinators of the program have very nicely summarized what was covered. I know 1 week ago I was here to inaugurate this program, and time flies so fast. Already we are at the end of this program. I wouldn't like to say much, but I think our HRDC is playing a very, very crucial role in motivating our teachers to be good learners. And I'm sure during the last 1 week, you must have enjoyed and gained in knowledge, listening to so many experts from across the country. And as Professor Girish Nath Jha and Professor Pawan Dhar mentioned, even speakers from outside. I think as teachers, this is what we need to do. We need to remain lifelong learners. And we should also motivate our students to be lifelong learners. And I hope that attending these kind of programs will energize us to be effective teachers and motivate our students also to become good learners. So with those comments, I would like to very warmly welcome Professor Avinash Chandra Pandey, who is a friend of JNU. And we live on the same campus, although at different parts of the campus, and we work very closely. So with those comments, let me welcome Professor Avinash Chandra Pandey. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. Now, I would like to briefly introduce Professor Pandey, who is the director at IUC, and he was also director at Institute of Interdisciplinary Study, University of Allahabad, and he was the Vice Chancellor, Bundelkhand University, and he has earlier been professor at University of Allahabad. He has earlier been professor and founder head Department of Atmospheric and Ocean Sciences and coordinator of Cave Energy Center of Atmospheric and Ocean Study, MNSA Center of Space Study of University, Allahabad. Sir, I feel extremely honored and my deep sense of gratitude to invite you to deliver the keynote address as a chief guest. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sanjeev ji. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Jagdish Kumar ji, Professor Deepak Dhar ji, Dr. Rita Sharma, Professor G.N. Jha ji, and the Director of HRDC, Professor Pandey, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma ji, all the resource persons, my dear participants. It is really a proud privilege to be with HRDC for this function in which we are meeting for the valedictory function. As Dr. Deepak Dhar rightly said कि पूर्णाहुति के समय कुछ 2-4 फूल हमारी तरफ से भी आपको दिए जाने का मुझे अवसर प्राप्त हुआ है, तो यह मेरे लिए सुखद है। और साथ ही साथ I was delighted to know that a large number of lectures were held, and that too in synthetic biology in upcoming front. So I would like to share some of my views, because this is the brink that we are standing at the, like हम ये कह सकते हैं कि ये इंडस्ट्री 4.0 के दहलीज पर हम खड़े हैं. और if we talk about industry 4.0, that means we also have to think about life sciences 4.0, because we are going to get challenged by many of the developments which has taken place in other worlds. And this is also a right time that now Government of India has rolled out the new education policy, in which it is envisaged that will be having a kind of holistic education. So earlier what we had a system in which fragmentation of education system was there. If I boarded one train, so I was supposed to go in a monolithic sort of direction in which there was no chance of getting some kind of interaction with the other disciplines. So this opportunity, when we have Industry 4.0, and the second thing is that we are completely overhauling our education system to take a call for making our education holistic. So if you permit, I can share my slides, because it will be good to
Yes, sir. You can share, please. You are co-host and you can share.
Yes. So before I start, I would like to introduce my center as a pleasant duty to showcase the facility which we have, and that could be used by the people who are pursuing life sciences. You know, this is one such facility which is sitting just in the lap of JNU, and there is a lot of scope in biological sciences, life sciences also, where we can use the ion beams. So I will introduce a little bit about our facility. This is one of the first IUCs in the country, and this is meant for catering to the needs of our researchers who are pursuing their research in the country, in universities. You see, this is for biological sciences, it is a very simple mechanism by which you allow two particles, or one particle which is energized, which is accelerated, and it collides on the surface, and you get some of the things, the way we look at the fragments in Light Hadron Collider. That is working at giga electron volt. Here we work only at mega electron volt. And this is very simple demonstration how these accelerators work. And you know, this is what we are always confronted with, the challenges of these subatomic particles to know more about what is the composition of our subatomic systems and how we can manipulate some of the things at that level. So this is what the capability which we have developed over a period of time. We have several accelerators starting from Pelletron, which is seen in this side, and this was further added by another LINAC, which enhanced the energy, and we are still in the process of adding another system which can be an indigenous system of providing high current injector for with various researchers. So these are some of the accelerators which we have. Why this is important, I'm just sharing this slide. You could see that in the past 70 years, 24 Nobel Prizes were given those who actually pursued their researches using this accelerator physics, accelerator science. So it's a kind of, I'm giving it this to you. You can also take this advantage of interacting the biological systems, biological entities with the ion beams to look at what is happening and how we can understand better about the interactions which we have with the ion beams and also the biological material. This is one such example in which you could see this cannot be seen by naked eye. So if you bombard this surface by highly energetic ions, and if you keep on bombarding, the surface evolves, and you could see this evolution has led to development of nano towers. So these are nano towers. That means the dimension is of nano dimension, and it has very nicely come out with a systematic sort of experimental conditions. For example, the surface is rotating on which this substrate is there, and you are bombarding with the energetic ions, and the fluence is copious. So that is what gives you advantage to work at that level, at subsurface level. I'm giving this example in which all the satellites which go to upper space, where it is always bombarded by cosmic radiation. So first the electronics is tested here, and then it goes there. So large number of items can be included if we devise some experiments that how our body interacts when we are exposed to radiation, or what kind of other things be made possible. For example, after this radiotherapy, which we have worked for so many years, now we are going for this pencil beam in which electron accelerators are there. In coming days, the hadron therapy is coming in a big way. So before that hadron therapy comes, we should also know and understand what is the actual mechanism, the biological processes, and also the side effects which are there with this new technology, with the new therapy. So this can be pursued by people who are pursuing their life sciences, biotechnology in different universities using our facility. That is another area in which it is possible that you can distill the close by radioisotopes, and that is being used for dating. And that dating is not only limited to carbon dating, but we can also date many of the things which are otherwise not possible. Even for millennium years of the dates can be made available with this facility. This was a brief introduction of our facility, what we do, and how we can interface with the biological sciences people in the country. Coming to this part, that this is considered as the dawn of new knowledge era, and I was talking about that we are at the brink of the fourth industrial revolution, and is because we have to rethink and recalibrate the developments which has taken place in the sciences. You could see how this time domain has shrunk. Faraday discovered something about Faraday's law, and it took 50 years to get it converted into some kind of technological applications in 1881. Watson Crick, he came with an idea what DNA is made of, what is the structure. So 20 years took for genetic engineering, but very recently IGMA, CNT, the carbon nanotube which was discovered, and within 10 years, it got implemented in logic circuits. So that simply gives a kind of idea that there is an explosion of knowledge, and we have to employ that knowledge in gainful purpose, for the gainful purposes. You see, the three industrial revolutions which we had, So from 1760 to 1840, this is the longest duration in which mechanical production, the railways, steam engine came. The second was when we started looking at the assembly lining, mass production. That was 1870 to 1940, and 1960 to 2010 when this Bardeen, they gave the idea of semiconductors, mainframe computing, many other things. Now we are talking about, somebody talked about this part, the Industrial Revolution 4, in which we will be talking more about cyber physical system. So this is where we are standing today. So I'm happy to note that this is also having, this gathering is also having administrators. They have been trained in academic leadership and also resource management. So whenever you have this kind of situation in which there is a disruptive change, the technology is changing very fast, you have to keep your manpower ready for taking those challenges. So this is another opportunity in which you can look at what we have bundled into this presentation, how we are reaching 100 million customers. Telephone took about 75 years to reach that many customers. But if you see the progress in other areas, for example, www web, it was only 7 years when 100 million customers were actually reached. Facebook, 4 years, Instagram, 2 years. That means the shrinkage is not only limited to the conversion of basic sciences into technology, but also we are reaching to the large number of customers. So this cyber physical system gives you a kind of opportunity in which you have to start how a physical and engineering systems whose operations can be monitored, coordinated, controlled, and integrated by a computing and communication core. So that is what is possible. And I will share you some of the examples. For example, if you take 4 such examples, it is not far away from our reach. The bulb, the lighting, the incandescent bulb has now been changed by LEDs, and you could see the lighting which is available. They can control the lights using smartphones. You can turn it off, you can turn it on, or you can program that if you are sleeping, there is no activity in the room, it can always go dim and it slows, it actually gets off. Likewise, if I go for a walk in nearby Sanjayvan, my mobile keeps track that how many steps I took, what was the total number of floors I climbed, what was my heart rate, what was the movement intensity. Many of the things are actually stored, and that is only possible with the help of the smart. And I'm not going to put it in my wristwatch. It is only sitting in my pocket, and it records everything. For example, the other thing is in this racket, you can always know that where that ball has hit, what was the ball speed, whether it was spinning or not, what was the impact location, and then you can improve your game. So many such possibilities are there, which are there in your system and which we are using. When I say that Industry 4.0 is a reality, 10 years ago, before that, we started working with IIT Kanpur for rapid prototyping, reverse engineering, in which a system was scanned by some scanner, and then point cloud images were created, and then it was converted into real systems. So that was dreamt that it may happen, but nowadays it is very easy to have the 3D printing kind of thing. So interoperability, virtualization, decentralization, real-time capability. I demonstrated one such in which whatever you do is recorded, somebody records everything. And then there is a service orientation also. It offers many such services by simply having many of the sensors which are sitting, Internet of Services, IoTs we say, and then modularity is there. That is going to completely revolutionize the industrial scenario. I'm not going to talk about how this assembly line is going to change, but definitely many such areas are there, starting from autonomous robots, simulation, horizontal and vertical system, IoTs, which will be embedded into the industry, cybersecurity, additive manufacturing, augmented reality, and big data analytics. So these are some of the things that the administrators should also focus, and they should also start actually including in the syllabi, and they should start thinking that how we are going to make it a reality and also can be used for by the next generation, my students, in their real lifetime in coming days. So we could see that in 20th century, there was a gain in advancing this human development, industrial growth, and we also handled many such things relating to eradication of poverty and many such other problems. But because of these technological breakthrough, this was possibility on one side. The other side, there was galloping consumption leading to many such other problems which we need to recalibrate in the 21st century. And what we see here, we have to look at the UN Millennium Development Goals, in which all these 17, 18 points are there that need to be addressed. And these are the problems which actually to be looked at by the life sciences people, biotechnology, how health and human well-being could be ensured without having any negative dent from the scientific breakthrough, how aging population can be helped, what are the emerging epidemics. We have just noticed that we had a very bad phase of pandemic, and now again another bird flu is hitting the country. Many of the places they have noticed some of the symptoms of this virus. But on the other side, the country is also capable of developing a large number of vaccines, which is going to get very soon delivered. The dry run has started. Many such challenges are there in front of the life sciences and biotechnology people. And we have to look at the other aspect, how our environment, how the climate change is actually affecting the entire gamut of life. And you could say that the sustainability of this earth is again under question. So these are some of the things which is very common. And Delhi also had a similar kind of scenario in which it was considered as a gas chamber during that period. So these are some of the things, and this we could say that it is the effluent of the effluent. So whatever is there, it should be biodegradable, and we have to start working in that direction. The global warming, climate change, the extinction of several species, it is at faster rate. Many of the species have either become extinct or on the verge of extinction. So that is another concern. Biodiversity is to be maintained in such a manner that our planet remains habitable for many years to come, to sustain the life and to cater to the needs of the requirements of our next generations. So what I can summarize with this, that how we are going to help, or how we can think of something new to imbibe the idea of Industry 4.0 in life sciences. This is one example in which you could see this is the CAD model, computer-aided design, and this could be easily converted into a physical model using 3D printing. So that is a simple machine which is there, and you can always write the small script in which you can write the equation by which that volume surface can be depicted, and then it could be made a possibility to fabricate whatever you want. Likewise, I'm not going to talk about the synthetic biology. Somebody, Dr. Sharma was telling that it has already been discussed by many of the resource persons, but what is my view as a physicist, that we used to have several such small building blocks by which we used to synthesize the circuits for a particular purpose. Now there is a possibility that biology can also be looked at from the same framework, and we can have a possibility of synthetic biology, and this leads to many such uses and gives another dimension where the conventional way of learning has to be changed in a drastic way. What I'm going to summarize here is that science is collaborative and competitive. You see this particular picture in which during Janmashtami, many people, they climb on each other and then they make a pyramid, and then they reach to this dahi handi, and then they break. So this is what a kind of collaboration which we have to make. We are not going to reinvent the wheel every time. The other thing is that we have to be competitive also. This is one such example of snake boat race in Kerala. many people are working together, but who is first to come out with the new thing, that the way we have developed the vaccine and it is now available with the masses. So both the things, collaborative and competitiveness. Collaboration is not only limited to collaborating with the people from your own discipline. The new framework, this new education policy in which is expected that our faculty will be capable, energized, motivated. They will definitely look at these aspects, how they can go for. Professor Kumar was also referring to this lifelong learning. You get oriented to the higher education system. There is a focused way of looking at some of the issues which need to be further created, the creativity aspect. And when we are working in that direction, when we have a focused thing, then there is a big bang kind of thing in which you coordinate with many such other disciplines, and then you get illuminated with the wisdom, and which is actually desired from this higher education system. And this HRDC plays a vital role in making our capable faculty members energized, motivated to take these challenges. So coming years are very important because we have to have this holistic system into one frame. And instead of working in isolation, the collaboration should also go beyond our own discipline and start interacting with the people from other disciplines so that we can learn, we can imbibe some of the ideas, and we can start working in that direction in a collaborative manner. But the time is also important. Being competitive, coming with something which is very much required, and I showed why this time domain is important. Earlier, it took 50 years to get converted in the industry. Whosoever is prompt in delivering whatever we have learned to the masses, and the reaches is all the 100 million people. If you reach, then only survive. So this is what the challenge which we have in higher education system. With these words, I thank Professor Kumar for giving me an opportunity to be with the participants of different backgrounds to at least tell about my center, how they can use this facility, being a life scientist and also biotechnologist in their discipline, in their domains. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you very much and enlightening us, all of us. And you have highlighted that the present, the biophysical condition of environment, then the industrial revolution, and the present role of science and technology. Once again, I would like to thank you very much for sparing your valuable time. Now, I would like to invite the participant from the refresher course to share their experience. So I would like to request Dr. Nilima, kindly share your experience on behalf of all the participants, and kindly conclude like within 2 or 3 minutes, because we have also other participants. Okay.
Very good afternoon to all the esteemed guests of the day, course coordinators and my dear colleagues. This is Nilima Dhingra from Punjab University, Chandigarh, and it's my honor and pleasure to represent a report as well as feelings of on behalf of my fellow colleagues. So we all know that refresher course provides opportunity for serving the teachers to exchange experience with their peers and mutually learns from each other. And I hope all you agree with me that we are not living, we are living technology. An ongoing pandemic has increases demand, especially in academics. So here is a perfect example where the pragmatic tech by HRDC JNU, Professor Dhar and Dr. Rita is commendable, where they connected 39 participants from more than 10 states and provided a platform to acquire knowledge on the topic life sciences and biotechnology. Program was well designed with 31 scientific talks by the eminent speakers from the renowned institutes across the India. It was a perfect blend of lectures from the beginner like me to the technical advanced teachers and researchers from biotechnology. Considered common interest of all the participants, some of the extended lecture on patent and how to fetch good grants were also introduced. Thanks to both the coordinator for the well-structured program, and I would say Professor Dhar was like a brain behind this course. Dr. Rita was a strong spinal cord and who made us all the nerves that we participants connected to each other for this long 2 weeks. We must thanks to the UGC by allowing and giving approval to the online programs toward consideration. Had it not been the person, I won't be able to attend it in the physical mode. But definitely after this encouraging and a motivational platform, I'm looking forward such platforms to learn and grow with you all. So, and I was looking for like, मैं क्या बोलूं कि कोई कमी रह गई है. So by 2 o'clock, I was ready with my script, and I was saying like I'm missing healthy interaction and gossip over the tea with my friends, but a thoughtful interactive session, informal interactive session provided by Dhar and Dr. Dita, and वो भी कमी उन्होंने पूरी कर दी. So I don't think I have any words to say कि कोई कमी रह गई है especially in this virtual world. So sincere thanks to Sanjeev Sharma sir for orientation program on the very first day. You addressed all our queries for the smooth execution. Million thanks to Gaurav and Neha who took over all the technical queries, and they worked very smoothly. Thanks and heartiest congratulations to Professor Pandey, HRDC Director, Assistant Director Sanjeev Sharma sir, coordinators for successful event. And proudly, I would like to carry the JNU tag with me, and a tag from the country-renowned institutes. And I hope you will allow me to say that I am now a JNU alumni.
Thank you, Dr. Nilima, for sharing your experience. Now, I would like to request Dr. Avinash. Kindly share your experience. Over to you, Dr. Avinash.
Yes, sir. Very good evening, sir. Very good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Marwal, working as assistant professor in the Department of Biotechnology at Mohanlal Sukhada University, Udaipur, Rajasthan. I would love to share my personal experience for being as a participant. First of all, I really would like to thank Professor Brajesh Kumar Pandey sir, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma sir, and the entire team of prestigious HRDC JNU for selecting me in this refresher course and endow me with a chance to hear the world-class great speakers, which really enlightened me with their immense knowledge. I ensured that this refresher course was very much profitable for everyone present here. And the key takeaways for me is a good networking with various participants and several experts, which will definitely be fruitful for every one of us. Since 2 weeks, all the session was full of knowledge with latest research developments in life sciences and biotechnology. All the speakers really gave deep insight into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts, which ranges from next generation sequencing, vaccine development, bioinformatics, big data science to targeted genome editing, and many more wonderful topics. I'm pretty sure the precious knowledge that I have learned from this refresher course will definitely help me in my classroom teachings and in my future research. I personally, on behalf of all participants, I would like to express our sincere thanks to our respected coordinators, Professor Dhar Sahab and Dr. Rita Madam Ji, for taking out time from their busy schedule for organizing lectures and smoothly coordinated the entire refresher course, and also kept us refreshed by sharing their valuable experience during the discussion rounds. Personally, I think this refresher course was very well organized and very successful. I fully enjoyed the 2-week time in refreshing myself. I once again thanks the entire HRDC JNU team for giving me an opportunity to meet many intelligent and sharp participants, and a wonderful platform to interact with several scientists and academicians of various disciplines. I have benefited very much from this fantastic course. I will really be very happy to attend such wonderful courses from JNU at HRDC in near future. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Avinash. Now, my humble request to Dr. Ruhi Mustaq. Ma'am, kindly share your experience. Over to you, ma'am.
Respected dignitaries, Vice Chancellor JNU Professor M. Jagdish Kumar, Professor Avinash Chandra Pandey, Director, Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi, course coordinators, Professor Pawan Kumar Dhar, Dr. Rita Sharma, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma, Assistant Director, UGC, HRDC, JNU, and their co-participants. A very good afternoon to you all. The first and foremost thing, it was a real pleasure for me to be the part of this 25th refresher course in life sciences and biotechnology that was organized by HRDC JNU. As a participant, I have just 3 points to share. Number first, the course was sincerely and passionately organized by the 2 coordinators with a wonderful team at the back. That's the IT spot. I guess I feel, and I hope my co-participants will also agree with me, that all the presentations that were delivered by the respective speakers suited the research interest of all of us. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pawan, Dr. Pawan, sir, and Dr. Rita for giving us a refresher, this really, in a sense, refresher course for a period of these 15 days. Second point, as a mother, as a parent, I felt this was the practical laboratory for me, because our kids who are now facing the challenge of these online classes for the past more than 1 year, they are managing with them. And I hugged my kids twice a day. Thank you, dear kids, that whatever the grades you have fetched, that those are beyond my expectations. Because as a human being, we do agree, all of us, that we need the social interaction. We have to go out. But this pandemic has taught the many things to us. So thanks for this wonderful online mode of learning. And third point, that is really personal to me, but once we were interacting, there are many participants like me who have the long pause in their research career. When I was presenting my work today, and when I was preparing for this presentation, I was like, because there is a pause in my research career due to certain fortunate or the unfortunate conditions. And I was feeling I cannot understand and read the science anymore now. And I had the feeling that I want to come back. But this refresher course, this honest confession from the core of my heart, that I really felt I understand science more than before. And I really feel that I can make a good comeback in the research field again. Maybe it will take me another 1 year, but inshallah, I'll be trying my level best. So dear coordinators, it was really a wonderful period for all of us. And just accept my heartfelt gratitude for all that. So thank you very much. These are the things that I had to. And wonderful. And one more thing, Gaurav. Yeah, yesterday I texted Gaurav that I have to upload the modified PPT, and he promptly responded to me. So thank you, Gaurav, for all the support for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ruhi. Thank you very much for sharing your experience. And I remember that on the first day, you was very worried that there may be the internet problem because you are connected from Kashmir. So
yes.
Yeah. But I hope that you have attended all lecture.
Yes. Alhamdulillah, somehow. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Thank you. So thank you. Now I would like to request participant from the short-term course in academic leadership and resource management, Dr. Vanita. Please share your experience, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Honorable Vice Chancellor, respected professors, and all participants. In this concluding session, I speak for everyone when I say that it has been a very rewarding experience. All our resource persons were equipped with a plethora of knowledge, wisdom, and experience. We have been thoroughly enriched through this one-week program, which will go a long way in our personal and professional development. I would like to thank HRDC JNU for giving us this platform to participate in these very difficult and uncertain times. A very big thank you to our course coordinator, Professor Girishnath Jha, and the whole support staff at HRDC JNU on a very successful completion of the program. As we leave here today, we are celebrating what we have accomplished and prepared to take on future academic challenges. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we have last participant, Dr. Bhushan, from the same course. Dr. Bhushan, kindly share your experience.
Thank you, sir. With a huge respect to all the dignitaries who have joined this particular final valedictory ceremony, I would like to mention that here I am standing as a representation of all the participants who were there throughout the program of this particular course. Let me start with the name of the short-term program was Academic Leadership and Resource Management. And I think no other institute other than JNU would have been the apt to teach us all these intricacies of everything. I have certain points which I have jotted down after the everyday's discussion, what all I could pick it up from all the participants. The very first is the time management, and I think all these Small things make a great difference. Just being here and there, I guess, but every session was been starting on time. And at times we have faced this, that, we have been late in joining the class 1 or 2 minutes, but it has never happened from the point of view of the organizer or the resource person. So I think it is very good to learn. Second is, all the resource person and the topic was selected. They were so apt. And I have shared this in the morning as well. At times it was pointing out directly, at times it was just making us ignite indirectly about the particular domain, and the conclusion was left to us. And I think that was a very well mature way of dealing with the topics. Moving ahead, then I have mentioned the methodology which was being used. After every section, after every session, there was a hell lot of questions, from the participants, and every question was addressed by all the resource person with that integrity, and then it triggered altogether a different quantum of discussion. So it was very, very appreciating. Lastly, I would like to thank on behalf of the entire team, right from UGC to every person who was directly, indirectly instrumental in making this happen, we being there. And today we are concluding this particular short-term program. So I thank on behalf of the entire participant. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Bhushan. And now we have come to the end of this memorable valedictory sessions. And I request Professor Kumar, our Vice Chancellor, sir, would you like to say something, or I can propose the vote of thanks?
Yes, please go ahead. It always feels bad after having spent for more than a week together and going back to our regular responsibilities. But I think please continue to be in touch with each other, network with each other. As Professor Avinash Pandey has said, we cannot work in silos. We need to work together. I hope that this program has provided you an opportunity to come together and work together. Goodbye to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Before I present the vote of thanks, I have few announcements for the participant. Distinguished participant during valedictory session, I hope you all have received your the relieving order. And by next week, we will send you the soft copy of certificate and the hard copy of the certificate within 10 days, because we also need some time for packaging and the all. And you can just take your the relieving from your email also. So in this word, it is now my sincere responsibility to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of my HRDC JNU, my director, and all the coordinator also. And first of all, we express our sincere gratitude to our respected Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar sir, for your support, encouragement, and motivation to conduct such programs successfully. We would also like to heartily thankful, and we were indeed privileged to be had eminent person today with us, chief guest, Professor Avinash Chandra Pandey sir. And thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation and sparing your valuable time. On behalf of all connecting through virtually in this conference room, our heartfelt thanks to you, sir. I do hope that it would be motivate, inspire, and encouraging to all our participants. Now, I would like to thank our all three coordinators, because no refresher course can take shape without the hard working of the coordinator. And it was due to their dedication and enthusiasm and their determination and commendable hard work, which made this a huge success. I thank coordinator for presenting brief report of the course and conducting and completing program successfully. We highly appreciate your effort to arrange all these highly knowledgeable or expert in their respected field, all the resource person from India and the abroad also. We would like to thank all the resource person for sparing their valuable time, who took the time out of their busy schedule and showered us with their pearls of wisdom and knowledge. We are truly humbled and thankful to all these resource persons. We are also thankful to all distinguished participants. It would not be possible without your presentation, without your participation, patience, listening, active interaction with all our resource persons. We highly thankful to you. I would like to thank my director HRDC, Professor Brajesh Kumar Pandey, for all the support, all his guidance for conducting these courses. On behalf of HRDC, I would like to thank all our other JNU faculty and the colleagues, CIS team also, our security people also for providing all our services also. And finally, I would like to thank all our HRDC team, including the Gaurav for providing all technical support. Madam Nehaji, Madam Arora is there, Om Prakash ji, because they are the backbone of the course for all these HRDC programs. I would like to acknowledge all your HODs, head of the institutions, for nominating your name to attend this course. And with these words, I can say that the end of story is the new beginning for many others. And I hope that you all get benefited by this course. So whatever we have promised on the first day, that we will provide you the best quality lecture and the best resource person. And I hope we have fulfilled your expectation. And you will also learn and share with your colleagues and the student. That is the ultimately goal to learning and sharing the experience also. So thank you very much. And once again, I would like to congratulate to you for the successful completion of these courses. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Ending the meeting. Over to technical team, please end the meeting. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.